We already know what institutions do to people. This is not a theoretical debate about policy architecture. The United States has a documented historical record of what happens when disabled Americans are placed in institutions rather than communities. The record is not ambiguous. Disabled people will never forget that those institutions were phased out beginning in the 1970s in many states because they were found to be horrific, harmful, and even deadly. Individuals with disabilities were forced to live in filthy, overcrowded conditions and were subjected to eugenic experiments, forced sterilizations, and other violations of their fundamental dignity as human beings. The institution, the American Association of People with Disabilities, specifically named in its response to this week's memo, was Willowbrook, a New York State institution for children with intellectual disabilities, where conditions were so catastrophic that they triggered congressional hearings, a landmark civil rights lawsuit, and ultimately the deinstitutionalization movement that the 1999 Olmstead decision codified into federal law. Importantly, institutions were found in many cases to be counterproductive to recovery. Research and experience demonstrated conclusively that people with disabilities can receive more humane, less expensive, and more effective services in their homes and communities. The American Association of People with Disabilities said this week, "As America prepares to celebrate 250 years of independence, this memo threatens to drag our nation back to a dark and shameful era of ignorance and cruelty." Pause. The history is documented. The outcomes are documented. The cost comparison is documented. This week's memo was issued anyway, without a response from the DOJ to NPR's request for explanation of why it is changing course after decades of legal and bipartisan support. We closed the institutions because of what we found inside them. This week, the DOJ said states can open them back up. Every claim sourced, every video a thread. Follow now, because the next one's the part they hoped you'd never connect.